Hey guys, my name is Aashar Wahla and welcome to my new Flutter video. And this video will be an opener, which you can, in other words, you can say, which will be a splash screen, and this will be based on animation. So let's start. So this is what we will be building in this video. So center with AW, which is initials of my name, and then this will be faded in. The color choice is not perfect. You can choose your own color, and of course the link to the repository will be down below. So what is the plan? In other words, what will be the thought process? So I have divided this into three parts. The first one is a simple screen with ball inside moving up and down. So basically a ball which appear, which you can say have initials inside it. It will come from this top of the device till the end, and then it will move again in the center, and then when circle stops it starts to expand in different color, and then at last a white color, a typo uh, which I missed, which at least a white color circle expand and a new screen fades in. So sorry for the typo. So now we will implement this. So let's start. So this is already implemented, and what I am going to do in this video is that I will walk you through the code. And of course this will be the code will be open source, and I will provide the GitHub repository link down in the description section, so you can go there and make your desired changes and feel free to clone it, and of course you can also store and fork it. And if you see an improvement, please let me know. I know this is not the perfect implementation, and I'm not you can say an engineer with a ton of experience, so there's always a room for you can say errors. So what I have done is that this is the main file, and within main file all of these things are just as they are from the beginning of the app when you create using Flutter create command. And then in the my app I'm going to splash screen within the material app. So let's move toward this splash screen. This is a stateful widget, and here if we go into the build method, we have a scaffold with a background color. So I have created a constant file with a background color which is by default black, and if I restart the app you can see why it is. So this is the black color. So what we are going to do right now is, once this color is completed, then a splash body is another widget which is created separately. And if we go up, there are two methods which I have created, which is start time to navigate and a create route. So what will be happening over here? So this is the function which will be the you can say duration of the animation, and after this particular time period the next screen will appear. Sure. And this is a create route function is called over here, which is implement the fade animation and then move toward the home screen. So that is pretty much it which happening on this particular screen. And let's now move toward the splash body. So this is the screen where most of the stuff is happening. So you have to keep an eye on this particular screen. So now is the time that I should just give me a second so I can increase the font size. Again, again. So hopefully you can see it clearly now, because in my couple of last videos I have received this complaint that the font size was very small. So now this is the screen where most of the stuff is happening. So in here we are just getting a function on complete, and this function will be executed when the animation will be complete. So what is happening? So we will be using animation controller, and for that we need to import import, we used to have to use with keyword and use single ticker provided state mixin, which give us access to this, uh, which is the instance of this class, in which class we are operating. So first of all, we initialize a controller and we initialize an animation. So why this? We are using this because we need to add a curve to our animation, which in this case is out. So what are we going to do now is that we have almost three animations. The start first, start second, and these are for the circles. So what are we going to do now is within the init state we are calling the function start animation, which is right over here. So first of all, we are initializing the controller, and this is a pretty common way to initialize the controller. And next we are setting the duration. So what is the duration of this particular controller? And after that we are setting an animation. So we can simply use this controller to do our animations if we just want it to be in a straight line, but we want it to be in a curve. So it should, if I could show you, if I restart the app, so this ball come here and it slow downs a little and then it takes up speed. So that is a curve, and we will be we are using that curve, so we will need this animation, and we will using curved animation class. And when we have initialized these true items, then we have to add a controller dot forward, and this will start our animation. So after that, if we are adding a listener to our controller, which will be every time a frame changes, or in other words, every times a ticker operates. So ticker is basically a timer which is provided as to us by Flutter, and that ticker provider is updated, you can say, at every frame rate. So if your screen frame rate is around 60 fps, so that will update itself 16 times per second, and it is much more efficient than using a simple duration. So what are we going to do right now is, in this listener we are just going to show that if animation value is equals to 1, so animation value is between 0 and 1. So 0 mean beginning and 1 mean ends, and the animation controller value is between these two values. So if the animation dot value is 0.5, it would mean that the animation is in center and it is halfway through the process. So we have another value which is animation dot reverse, that if animation is going in the reverse, then we will have these if statements. And right now I think that it would not make much sense to you because we haven't went through the main process. So let's first of all go through that, and then we will come back to this later. So first of all, in the build method we are giving are we are getting our device height and width, and which we will be providing, which we will be using later down, and then we will be using stack. So now after that, what we are going to do is create a canvas, which will be a complete screen. So after that, we are going to check if start first is activated, and then we're going to check if start second is activated, and then we have our animation builder, and at the last we have our start final circle. So this white part is our animated builder, and this is first, second, and white one is the third part. So let me just explain you again. So this one is the green circle, and this one is the red circle, and this is our animation, which is a circle with my name initials, which are AW, Aashar Wahla, and at last we have a white circle, which then fades into a new screen. So what's happening exactly is we have positioned our stack in such a way that this green and red circles appears to come from behind the animated builder, and the white circle appears to come from the front of the circle, which gives an effect of a new screen. So just to restart the app so you can have a clear look. So our animation, then green, then red, and then a white from the above. So now what we're going to do is, first of all, we will be focusing on our animated builder. So animated builder is you can say a widget provided by Flutter, and what this help us to do is that we provide it an animation, which in this will be, we can also provide it an animation controller, but we will be providing it our curved animation controller because we are using a curved animation, and then we will give it a context and a child. So in this is the context and this is the child. So and we will returning a value which will be a position widget. So every time this value changes, this will be rebuilt. So first of all, we are giving a position value. If you don't know how the position and stack work, I will highly recommend you to watch my video on the position and stack, which I will be uh, link I will be leaving a link down below, so you guys can go and check it out too. So we will be giving it a left spacing so it could be in center. So why 50? Because it will be half of our container size, so we want it to be center, so we will be take half of this side from half of the size of this container from both sides and top. So this particular value will depend on this animation value. And now after we have the idea that how this will position, then we create a container which will be box shape circle, color white, and which will have text AW within inside, which if you want to implement within your app, you will just change it to your own initials. And after that, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at this animation.value. So if we go back to our animation listener, right over here, so once our animation is complete, it is reversed. Why reversed? So at this level animation is complete. Now it is getting in reverse and it is getting center. So we want this animation. So once it's complete, we want it to get reversed, and we will check if animation is in reverse and it is past at half point, then it should stop. And when it would stop, then we will our set state for the start first circle, which will be, I think so, green in this case. Just let me check which will be, yes, which will be green in this case, to true. Then that circle will appear, and then after you can say delay 1 second, a start second will be set to true, and that will execute the second circle, which in this case will be red. And of course you can change the color based on your preferences. And after 1 second we will implement the white color circle, which is will be the last circle. And this will then execute a circle, and at the end of all this we will be implementing this function, which we will get in the constructor of our splash body. So this is the function which we are getting in the splash body, which will be start time to navigate, and after 3 seconds this will navigate to this screen using a fair transition. So let's move ahead and let me explain you what happened when we set our start first to true. So I have created a custom widget for this too, and that will be a spanning circle. And what's happening in this is, again, we are using our animation controller, and in this case we are not using any curved animations. We don't need another animation controller, curved animation controller, so we will be using a single animation controller. And of course we have to use with single ticker provider. So we are taking a constructor, within the constructor of our expanding circle widget we are taking a circle color, which will be used to which will tell the what will be the color of the circle. And then we have a duration, because here we are initializing our controller, and this function will be executed in our initial state the first time the widget will be get built. After that the controller should be forward, and then we should add a listener. So my initial thought was to implement something within it, and that were not thought. So if we comment this out and restart the app, I don't think so it will change anything. So as expected it will not, because after the animation is complete the controller is stopped by itself. But one thing is which you should keep in your mind is that you should always dispose a controller, always. So what is happening in the build method? So within the build method, first of all we are getting the height and width, which will be necessary, and then within that we are creating a container within an animated builder. And in the last section I did told you that why are we using animated builder, because we want our animation to be synchronized to our changes in the animation controller value. So every time a value of the animated controller changes, it should update our builder method. So we are having a container with a particular color, and in this case this is the color which is provided in the constructor of this widget. And then we have a radius, which is a calculated value, and this took most of my time because it required a lot of calculations. Maybe due because I'm new to this stuff, and I don't have much experience, so it took me some time to figure it out. But this is the value which worked fine for me, and of course you can just copy and paste it. But you should understand it that this is the height of the device, this is width of the device, and this is 1 minus controller value. So controller value is the value of the animation at that point. So if the animation is halfway through, again it will be 0.5, and if it's complete it will be 1, and if it is just started or it is have not started yet, then it will be 0. And then we are giving it a height and width. So this is point uh, is something which I think suits me the best, and I'm using it because the uh, according to my calculations and what I have figured out is that the height is 2.5 times larger than the width. So in case to make it appear like they both are expanding at the same rate, the same size, height and width, I multiplied the width by 2.5, uh, which helped me mimic the, you can say, expansion in such a way that it looked very good. So that's for the this part. And uh, again for the start second, it is exactly the same with just red colors, and at the end it is again the same with the white color. And as I told you before, that we are using this uh, before the animation builder because we want this to be appear behind the animated builder. And the second one is the same case, as we also want that to be appear behind their animation, the circle with my initials. And then at the end we want a white circle which appear above our animation container, which will appear above. So if I restart the app for the last time so you can guys have a clear look, so this is what the app will look at the end. So uh, I really hope this video will be helpful to you, and if this really helped you, then kindly subscribe it and like this video. It will help me a lot, and it will motivate me to keep on uh, making such videos so I can help you guys. So that was all for me for this video, and I appreciate your time for this video for almost, I think so, 25 to 30 minutes video. And if you liked it, just give it a thumbs up again, and thank you for watching.